Hello everybody, welcome to just a plain old exhibition game here in 1987 Payoff Pitch. This is an actual replay of an actual game played April the 13th, 1987, which April 13th was my birthday, not 1987, but April 13th was, and that's why I picked this game. 1987 was the newest season I got from Payoff Pitch when they had the moving sale. And some of you may or may not know that I ordered the 1987 cards with the splits, and unfortunately they delivered the cards that did not have the splits, but Joe, in his great customer service, amended that and sent me the ones with splits. So I've got them both. So I thought, wonder how much difference splits do make in this game. So we're going to try it. I'm going to call this Splits-o-phrenia. I'm going to play the same game, and we're going to play it pitch by pitch or at bat by at bat using both the splits and the non-splits. So I'll show you what we mean. We'll move the Fulton County Stadium card over here a little bit. Starting pitcher for today's game, Zane Smith for the Braves and Bill Gullickson for the Reds. We'll move Gullickson out of the way temporarily. Get Zane Smith over here, and he's going to be facing two different leadoff batters. Tracy Jones, the splits, and Tracy Jones, the overall, side by side. And what I'm going to do basically is I've got two score sheets. I've got the one I'm going to keep with the splits that's on this page, and what I'm going to keep over here on the overall with this page. Now, of course, if the result would have turned out to be the same, then I'll keep it the same. But if not, then I'll have to try to figure it out and meander as we go. Also, to save room, I'm not doing the dice tray. I'm going to do everything with the fast action cards. I do have the charts in case we need rare plays, but everything else is going to be on the fast action cards so that we can have those. And we'll get the stadium card right there, I guess, would be good to have. All right. Like I said, this may be a ridiculous thing to do, but I was just feeling weird, so I said, let me try it and see, because I'm a big proponent of, left-right splits in games. So let's just see if this one game, if it bears itself out. I mean, the lineups were set up that way. The reason why Pete Rose has Tracy Jones in left field and not Cal Daniels is Tracy Jones hit .349 against lefties, and Cal Daniels against left-handers hit a robust .197. So there you see the big difference there. Now, of course, if you take Cal Daniels without the splits, it wouldn't make a difference. But we're going to try it this way and see what happens. So Zane Smith to lead off here against Tracy Jones. He'll be facing the double Tracy Jones. The first flip will be the D6 roll to see what we get on Zane Smith's card. The second flip will be the D10s to see what happens down here. All right, first flip for Zane Smith is a 5. 5 is patient. We go to the patient chart for Tracy Jones, and we get a 40. Patient 40 for Tracy Jones and the non-splits is a single. Tracy Jones 40 splits is a walk. So on the splits chart, he will walk. On the other chart, he will single. Either way, he's at first base with nobody out. So Tracy Jones reaches. And that'll bring up Dave Concepcion, first baseman. See what he does. Smith, a 6, is patient again. 51. 51 patient for Concepcion is a single here. It's also a single here. So we'll check and see runner advancement since it's the same. Single is runner on first advances 2 bases. So either way, in that instance, it both turned out to be the same. We got runners on the corners, nobody out. Only difference is in the split game, it's a 1 hit versus a 2 hit for the neutral game. All right, here's Dave Parker. See what he does. Braves are playing back. They need outs. They'll give up a run to get the double play if they can get it. Smith needs to avoid the patient roll and find something else. We got an 8. That is tough, so maybe he did find something else. Parker, tough 38. Tough 38 is a strikeout here. Tough 38 is a strikeout there. So either way, Parker strikes out. No matter which way you look at it, he strikes out. So there's one away, and that brings up Eric Davis. And we'll move these cards and set them up to reshuffle later. All right, Zane Smith, an 8. That's tough again. 48. Tough 48 struck out Eric Davis. Tough 48 struck out Eric Davis. So strikeout, strikeout for out number 2. Nothing changed there for either one. And that brings up Buddy Bell. Zane Smith, a 6. Now we're back to patient. 19. That's going to be a walk on both sides. And that's going to load the bases. So Zane Smith has now loaded the bases with 2 outs. And he's going to be facing the catcher, Bo Diaz. Bases loaded, 2 outs, no score, top of the first in this Splits-o-phrenia game. Zane Smith, 8. That's tough. 71. Tough 71 is out of range here. It's out of range here. 71 is a fly out to right field on the splits. It's a fly out to right field. On the neutral card, a 71 is a ground out to second. So they're both outs, but they're different kind of outs. And either way you go, Cincinnati comes away empty-handed as they leave the bases loaded. So we go to the bottom of the first. Cincinnati nothing, and Atlanta coming to bat. And doing the pitching will be right-hander Bill Gullickson. He will end up joining the Yankees in late August. But for now, and most of the season, he is with Cincinnati. For the Braves, it'll be Deion James to lead it off. Let's see what Gullickson does with Deion James. 8, and that's tough. 24. Tough 24 is a strikeout no matter which way you go. So far, not a lot of derivation. But I'm sure that's probably coming, or else there would be no reason to make split cards if there weren't. So that brings up Ken Oberkfell. Oberkfell stepping to the plate. Gullickson, 11 is patient, and that's a 46. Patient 46 is a base hit for Oberkfell. Patient 46 here is also a base. I'm sorry, against right-handers is also a base hit. So either way you go, it's a base hit for Ken Oberkfell. So Oberkfell is aboard with 1 out for Gerald Perry. Gerald Perry, the batter. Gullickson to Perry. 5 is in play. 22. In play 22 is a base hit. Here in play 22 is also a base hit, so we check runner advancement, and it says runner advances 1 base. All right, so Oberkfell will get second base on the single by Perry, and that was on both instances. So run 2 on with 1 out for the Murph, Dale Murphy, against Gullickson. It's a 7, which is tough. 29, tough 29 to strike out either way you go. And Murphy's out on strikes for 2 down. So it's going to be all up to Ken Griffey Sr. to get it done against Gullickson. 8, tough. 66, tough 66 is out of range either way you go. On this card, 66 is a fly to left. On this card, 66 is also a fly to left, so that didn't change. And the inning is over. No score after 1 from Atlanta. Now the Reds will be coming to bat against Zane Smith. And we have Kurt Stillwell leading things off. It'll be Stillwell, Oster, and the pitcher Gullickson. Gullickson's a very good hitter. He is using pitcher hitting card number 10. All right, so Zane Smith will deliver the pitch. It's an 8, which is tough. 78, tough 78 for Stillwell, out of range on both sides. 78 is a fly to center here, and it's also a fly to center there. So far, most of the rolls have been the same, but we got a long way to go. That'll bring up Ronnie Oster. second baseman. Smith. 3 is defense. And it's an error check on the shortstop. Shortstop, in this case, Andres Thomas's error rating is a 1. So 1 to 86, he's going to make an error. He does. Let's check and see how many bases the error is. Error on the infielder, 1 base. So it's an E6 on Andres Thomas. And that puts Oster at first with what is now 1 away. And now the pitcher batting card has no splits on it by default, so we just use the 1 pitcher batting card. It is pitcher hitting card number 10. And since he's such a pretty good hitter, we're not going to have him bunt. We're going to have him swing away. Zane Smith. 5 is patient. Oh, these things are upside down all of a sudden. Let's flip them around so they're the right side up. So patient and 09, and that's a walk. So he will walk the pitcher Gullickson. And now we flip the order over to Tracy Jones. 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the second. Jones walked on the split chance his first time, singled on the straight up chance. 6 is patient. 37. Patient 37 is a base hit here. It's a walk here. So once again, the same thing on the split chart. It's a walk, but on the straight up chart, it's a single. Now the walk on the split chart will load the bases, but we need to check and see what's happening on the regular chart with the runner at second. We'll do the runner advancement, and it says runner on first advances 1 base. So the bases are still are now loaded, and that would be the same either way since they only advance 1 base. So it's bases loaded, 1 out for Dave Concepcion, and Zane Smith is in trouble. Concepcion is up with the bases loaded. Infield playing for the double play. 10 is tough. 0-0. We got a rare play, so we're going to the rare play chart with runners on base, and the result was tough. Runners on base, and the result was tough. So let's flip these back around so they're facing the right way. And the result is a 13. So on a 13, we need to find the runners on base tough chart, which is for 13, which is right here. Ump calls obvious strike a ball. Several coaches on pitching team complained about the call. Umpire does not eject anyone, but squeezes the strike zone even more. Change all tough results to patient for the remainder of the inning while the current pitcher is in the game. All right, so tough chances now become patient chances. So even if Zane Smith finds a tough result, it'll turn into a patient chance. So he's got to be careful. They're really squeezing the strike zone on him. So he gets to pitch again. It's a 7, which is in play. Concepcion 71, in play 71, out of range both ways. It's a ground ball to second here. 71 here is also a ground ball to second. So it's both situations. Double play chances, he's a 9. Zane Smith is a 8. So as long as we get a 8 or less, this will be a double play. And we do, it's a 6. So double play, turn 4-6-3, just what the doctor ordered. And now that thing about changing the toughs to patients go away because we've moved on to the next inning. So the Reds leave them loaded, come away empty-handed. And that'll bring up the Atlanta Braves to go against Bill Gullickson. Gullickson will be facing Andres Thomas to start off, followed by Benedict and Hubbard. I see some of these cards are still turned the wrong way, so let's flip them around. All right, Gullickson to Thomas. It's a 6, which is in play. 55. In play 55 is out of range both ways. 55, ground ball to third. 55 here, ground ball to third. So same result there on a 5-3 ground out. 1 down. 1 away, and that sends up Bruce Benedict. Mr. Benedict, the catcher. And the pitch from Gullickson. 7 is tough. 67, tough 67's out of range both ways. 67 is a ground ball to second here and also a ground ball to second there. So same result there. 2 down for Glenn Hubbard. Mother Hubbard. 2 outs and the base is clear against Gullickson. 5 is in play. 0-2. In play 0-2 is going to be a double for Glenn Hubbard, no matter which side you're on. That is a double. And that will allow Zane Smith to bat. And again, pitcher hitting card does not have the splits. So in this instance, it will be exactly the same. 2 outs, runner at second. Gullickson. A 3, and that is tough. And tough 32 is going to be a strikeout. He is hitting off pitcher hitting card number 7, but even number 8 would have been a strikeout as well. So that's going to end the inning with nothing for Atlanta. So the double by Hubbard rather goes to waste. The end of 2, no score from Hotlanta. And we start at the top of the third, and we'll shuffle after the third inning. Zane Smith back out. Will be facing Parker. Big Dave Parker. Parker struck out his first time up. 4 is in play. 18, that's a base hit. So Parker gets himself a leadoff single to start off the top of the third, and that brings up Eric Davis. Davis crunches lefties. You can see he hits lefties at 340. Righty is only at 272. On this card, he's hitting them at 292. So he's going to drop 48 points on his average by using the regular card. All right, Zane Smith, 4 is in play. 92, though. It really doesn't matter when you get a 92. That's a fly to left on the regular card. It's a ground ball to short on the split cards. So we'll check for a potential double play on the split cards, but on the standard card is just a fly to left for out number 1. Let's see what happens on the double plays. Smith is an 8. Davis is only a 5. So that is a 5, so it will be a double play. So on the split cards, we got a double play for 2 outs. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Second double play turned by Atlanta. So on the split cards, there's 2 outs. On the regular cards or standard cards, there's only 1 out. So got to keep that in mind. Buddy Bell, 3 is defense. We're checking. Whoops, get that backwards. Let's rotate these around. I don't know how they got upside down like that. Should have checked them before I did it. Defensive check is an error on the second baseman. That's Glenn Hubbard. He's a 4. So 1 to 56 will be an error. And it is an 0-2, so it is an error on Hubbard. And it is going to be a 1-base error on Hubbard. So Hubbard makes the error that puts Parker to second base on the standard set. Bell will reach on the E4. But on the split cards, there's 2 outs with Bell at first base. All right. So I got to make sure I can keep track of what I'm doing on these different score sheets. That's a challenge in itself. So maybe I'm just being ridiculous doing this kind of game, but just felt like doing something weird, that's all. All right, Zane Smith. 6 is Patient. 28, Patient 28, Bo Diaz. 28, Patient is a single here. It is a single here also. So single in both directions. So let's check runner advancement. Runner on second will score. So Parker scores on the standard game. Runner on first advances 2 bases. So Bell will go to third on both instances. And it's 1-0 Reds on the standard game. Still no score on the split game. But the Reds are threatening with 2 outs and runners at the corners, where they only have 1 out. And 1 out and runners at the corners on the standard game. So Stillwell comes up. Zane Smith. 12 is in play. 11. A bad break there for Zane Smith. In play 11's a base hit both ways. And runners on second will score. Well, there was nobody on second. It was only runner on third. So Bell will score from third base in both games. And it's now 2-0 on the standard, 1-0 on the splits. Runners only advance one base, so Diaz will stop at second on both score sheets. So Kurt Stillwell with a base hit. And Zane Smith a bad break. Here's Ron Oster. And I can see we got to move these cards around again. Let's flip these over again. In fact, I'll move this one over. All right. Zane Smith, 4 is in play. 63, in play 63. Here's a fly to right. 63 here is also a fly to right. For out, well, that's going to end the inning on the split card. So the split cards, the Reds get 1 run. There's only 2 outs on the standard card. So now here's where it gets a little bit confusing because we're going to be having different batters come up in the different games for the Reds because now we've got 1 extra out to deal with. So the pitcher card is going to bat. Gullickson's going to bat on the standard, but he'll be leading off the 4th inning on the split. So that's where it can get a little confusing. Zane Smith, 5 is patient. 91, that's definitely out of range. That's going to be a ground ball to short that ends the inning. But 2 runs for the Reds in the split version. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Reds or 1-0 Reds, depending on how you want to look at it. Gullickson is back out, and top of the order for the Braves, it will be Dion James, the batter. Gullickson, 8 is tough. 34, tough 34 for Dion James on the regular card is a single, as well as on the split card. So both ways, Dion James will get himself a leadoff single. And back on the Braves, trying to chip into that lead. That'll bring up Ken Oberkfell. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Got some more of these that are flipped around somehow. All right, Gullickson, 8 is going to be tough. 89, tough 89 is out of range. Ground ball to second here, ground ball to second here, so it's the same. And double play rating for Oberkfell is an 8. For Gullickson is a 5. It's a 10, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. They will retire James at first base. Going to go 4 to 6 on the fielder's choice on both score sheets. 1 out, 1 on, as Oberkfell takes over as the runner on first. And that brings up Gerald Perry. Oops. And again, these cards are getting flipped around on me. All right, Gullickson, 7 is tough. 41, tough 41, out of range here. Tough 41 here is a strikeout on the splits. So on the splits, Perry strikes out. On the standard set, 41 turns into a pop out to first. So they're both outs, just different kind of outs. 2 down for the Murph. Dale Murphy. And I'm going to shuffle these after this inning to make sure all of them are facing the right direction. That's another thing I want to make sure, because these things have gotten all discombobulated, facing different ways here. All right, Gullickson to Murphy, 7. 7 is tough. 36, tough 36 is a strikeout either way you go, and that's going to end the inning. So after 3 complete here from Cincinnati, it is, depending on how you want to look at it, it's either 2-0 or 1-0. Whether you want to go splits or you want to go with the neutral cards or the overall cards or whatever you want to call them, the non-split cards. Maybe that's a way to reference them. All right, I think I've got them all facing the right direction now. Now we just need to shuffle. And that's what you do after every 3 innings. Just do some shuffling, and I'm also going to flip them over. Try to protect the integrity of the randomness. So we're going to flip these over. All right, and now we've got the unusual quality of different batters facing Zane Smith. On the standard set, Tracy Jones is leading off. On the split set, Bill Gullickson is leading off. But I'm going to use the same fast action card result to do both at bats. Zane Smith, a 9 is tough. 58, tough 58 for Tracy Jones. is going to be out of range. That would be a ground ball to third for Tracy Jones. Tough 58 is a strikeout on the split chance for the Reds. So 1 down. And now Tracy Jones will lead off, will hit for the splits, and Concepcion will bat for the standard. 12 is in play. 11, that's a base hit either way you go. Jones actually just missed a double. It's a single either way for both. So Concepcion will get a 1-out single, and Tracy Jones will get a 1-out single. I know probably a lot of you are watching this saying, what the hell is he doing? And it's confusing as hell, and why are you even doing this mess? Well, just felt like the thing to do, and I'm in it now, so I might as well stick with it. All right, Zane Smith to Parker, or Concepcion, I should say. 11 is ballpark, so going to Fulton County Stadium. 36, and they're both in the wheelhouse because one's a righty, one's a lefty, but that fits in both sides. So let's check the wheelhouse result. It's a 63. Parker 63 wheelhouse is a base hit. Concepcion 63 wheelhouse is going to be out of range. 63 wheelhouse is a fly to right. So Concepcion will fly to right for out number 2, but Parker will single on his chart, which means we need the runner advancement for Concepcion, which is 2 bases. Concepcion will get third base. So runners are at the corners and only 1 out on the standard cards, where there are 2 outs with the runner at first on the split cards. And we got Davis on the neutral and Parker on the split. 7 is in play. 0-3, boy, that's terrible news. That's a double for Eric Davis. And that's on both sides. Now we need to check runner advancement on the double. Runners advance 2 bases. So Concepcion will score from third on the standard score sheet. Parker will make it to third. And on the split sheet, Tracy Jones will go to third. So runners are at second and third on both of them. Difference is who's batting and the number of outs. So on the standard, it's Buddy Bell. On the split, it's Eric Davis. Smith, an 8 is tough. 89. Tough 89 is a ground ball to short for Buddy Bell. Tough 89 for Eric Davis is also a ground ball to short. Infield was, let's see, were they in or back? Well, down 2-0, actually 3-0, they would be in on the neutral sheet. So the runner will hold. But on the other sheet, where it's only a 1-0 game, they would be laying back. So Davis will get the RBI ground out as Tracy Jones comes in to score to make it a 2-0 game. 3-0 on the standard, 2-0 on the splits, and now both. Actually, that was the third out on the splits. My bad. There were already 2 outs, so that's going to end the inning on the splits. They don't score any runs at all. That's my bad. I just recognized that. So they're going to be even further off on the who's batting because the standard set still gets to bat because there's only 2 outs. And Bo Diaz the batter. 10 is tough. 41. And that's a base hit for Bo Diaz. That will score at least 1. Let's see if it'll score Davis. I'm sure. Well, Davis runs. The way he runs, he will score automatically with 2 outs. He's a run rating of 7. No. Run rating of 6, which is still good enough with 2 outs to score. So it's a 2-run single for Bo Diaz. And it is now 5-0 on the standard set, only 1-0 on the split set. And on the standard set, they're still batting, Stillwell comes to the plate. Smith, 7 is in play. 19, boy, he's just not catching any breaks at all. It's another base hit. Runner advancement. Well, with 2 outs, let's check it first of all. No, Diaz doesn't run well, so he's got to get the help from the cards, and he does not. He will stop at second. So they're still batting. Now we're down to Ron Oster. Zane Smith can't get out of his own way. 5 is patient. 90 finally is going to get out of the inning. That is a ground ball to short to end the inning. But 3 runs come in. It is 5-0 Cincinnati on the standard side, 1-0 Cincinnati on the split side. All right. Zane Smith might be not much longer for this game, at least on the standard side. He might still be in there for the split side. That would really get confusing. Then you have 2 different pitchers going. Boy, that can really get confusing, can't it? Maybe I'll open up a can of worms I shouldn't have opened. I don't know. If it gets too bad, I'll just delete this video and we'll never see it. But we'll stick with it at least a little bit longer. Gullickson, a 12 is defense. And that is a range of the second baseman. Second baseman Oster. His range is an A, best you can have. So 1 to 44, it'll be a hit. 45 or higher, he'll make the play. It's a base hit. So Ken Griffey on both sheets will get a leadoff single. Sneaks it past Ron Oster. Leadoff single. And I'm sure this would probably be different if I was doing dice versus the fast action cards, but I just felt like fast action cards would be more efficient in a game like this. So Thomas is going to come to the plate. With Benedict at first, both Griffey rather at first base and nobody out. Gullickson, 2 is defense. That's an error check on the third baseman, Buddy Bell. His error rating is a 5. So that's the best you can have. 1 to 40 is an error. Anything higher than that, he makes the play. He will make the play. Let's see what kind of an out it is. An out on the infield is a ground ball, double play, A. He is not, let's see here. Ground ball, double play, A. It doesn't say anything about the error. It just talks about the range. He is not an A range. So it won't be a double play. We'll just call it a fielder's choice. Going 5 to 4. All right, 1 away. And Bruce Benedict, the batter. And if we get to Zane Smith, I will probably pinch hit for him in the standard game. Leave him in for the split game. All right, that's where it's going to get really confusing, I bet. Here's Gullickson. 6 is in play. 26. In play, 26. Out of range here. Out of range there. 26 is a pop to short and pop to first. So they're both pop outs. So no chances for double plays or anything like that. And that'll bring up Glenn Hubbard. Now if Glenn Hubbard reaches, that's where it can get a little, pardon the pun, get a little dicey. So we got Hubbard with a runner at first base and 2 down. That runner is Andres Thomas, who reached on the fielder's choice. Gullickson to Hubbard. 9 is ballpark, going to the stadium. 57. Hubbard's the right-hander. 57. He's in the wheelhouse. So wheelhouse right here for Hubbard. See if he can do something. 83, he cannot. So 83 is a fly to center on both cards. So that's going to end the inning on a fly to center. Nothing doing for the Braves. It remains 5-0 and 1-0. And they will let Zane Smith go out and pitch one more inning since he's going to lead off next inning. So, but if he gives up a 6th run, he will have to come out because I don't want to deal with fatigue cards. So let's see what happens here. Buddy Bell is going to lead off on the split side. Tracy Jones is going to lead off on the standard side. Actually, take it back. It's supposed to be the pitcher leading off, not Tracy Jones. It is the pitcher Gullickson who will lead off because Oster made the out to end the inning last time. But Buddy Bell leads off on the split side. Zane Smith, 6 is patient. 18. Boy, he's getting some bad breaks on these patients. That's a walk on both sides. So he walks the pitcher. He walks the pitcher and he walks Buddy Bell. And they may not be able to wait for Zane Smith. They may have to pull him pretty early. We'll have to wait and see. Tracy Jones will lead off. or not leadoff, will be the next batter, I should say. And Bo Diaz will bat on the split side. Smith, 7 in play. 54, finally got a break. 54 out. Ground ball to third here. 54 here is a pop to third. So Bo Diaz on the split cards will pop to third. So no chance of a double play there. On the standard set, there is a chance for a double play, as he did ground to. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 54. 54 would be a liner to short. Okay, my bad. I was looking at 55 to 61 instead. It is a liner to short. My bad. So outs either way, but no double plays or anything of that nature. Kurt Stillwell and Dave Concepcion are up. Smith, 3, defense. Error check of Andres Thomas. His error rating is a 1. And that will be an error. And it will be a 2-base error on Andres Thomas. So Concepcion will take second. Gullickson will take third on the standard side. And on the split side, Buddy Bell will take third. Stillwell will take second. So second and third with 1 out. Dave Parker, the batter on the standard side. Ron Oster, the batter on the split side. Infield is in. 9, tough. 0-4, that's a strikeout either way you go, and much needed strikeout. Out number 2. So now on the split side, you have Gullickson batting. And you got Eric Davis batting on the standard side. So completely different situation. And let's see what they want to do here. I think they're going to walk Eric Davis on the standard side, so they will give him an intentional walk. That will be his at bat. Let's see what happens here with the pitcher. With 2 outs and runners at second and third, Zane Smith, 10 is tough. 41 struck him out, so the split side, the inning is over. But you now have on the standard side, you've got the bases loaded and Buddy Bell, the batter, with 2 outs. 2 outs, bases loaded, Buddy Bell, the batter. 3 is defense. That's usually bad news for Atlanta. That is the range of the third baseman, Oberkfell. His range is an F. So 194, it's going to be a hit. And it is, base hit. Runner advancement, 2 bases. So base hit by Buddy Bell, and that's going to be it for Zane Smith. He cannot continue. 2 more runs score. And Davis goes to third. It is now 7-0 Cincinnati. And if you want to continue with Zane Smith, he would be on the tired side of things. And you'd have to use the fatigue card. And they may do that just to try to get him through the inning. So let's pull out the fatigue card. I haven't used those before, so we get a chance to use it right here. We're going to use the fatigue card. Fatigue pitcher card. It says change ballpark to wheelhouse. Patient may change. Use percentile dice roll and chart below. Tough may change. Use percentile and dice chart below. Okay. So still up to bat is Bo Diaz here on the standard side. And the flip is a 4. Whoops, we can't cover him up all the way. We didn't know what he's doing here. In play, 36. And look at that, right on his last number, 36. A base hit for Bo Diaz. That will score the run. And we'll check runner advancement. 2 bases, so Bell will take third. 3 more runs are in. It is now 8-0 Cincinnati on the standard side. And can Zane Smith ever get the last out? 4 is in play. 37. He finally does. 37's a pop to short. The inning is over, and that's most assuredly all for Zane Smith. So his day is done. And we can also put the fatigued pitcher card away. And as it stands right now, it is 8-0 on the split side, and 1-0 tight game on the standard side. I'm sorry, on the split side. Standard side is 8-0. All right, Gullickson back out, and on the standard side and on the split side is the pitcher spot, which would be Smith, but we're going to have a pinch hitter. And let's see who the pinch hitter is going to be. It's going to be Albert Hall. So we use Albert Hall on the split side, which means we need Albert Hall on the standard side. What did I do with Albert Hall on the standard side? All right, I'm getting confused here because I don't know what to do with my standard Albert Halls. They should be here with my Atlanta players. I don't know why they're not. Oh, you know what? I didn't take them out of the standard pack. That's probably why. So let me get Albert Hall out of here. I just took the starters out. I didn't take the bench out for some reason. I don't know why, but I didn't. So let me do that right now. Get all the bench players out so they're ready. So Albert Hall will be the pinch hitter. Albert Hall. Split side and standard side. All right, Gullickson with a tremendous lead on one game and a tight game on the other one. So Albert Hall, pinch hitter. 5 is in play. 31. In play 31 is a base hit here, and it's a base hit here. So Albert Hall, pinch hit single for Albert Hall. Pinch hit single. So he gets it done. Back to the top of the order for Deion James. Gullickson. 8 is tough. 17, that's a strikeout either way you slice it. So Deion James out on strikes for out number 1. He's gone. That'll bring up Oberkfell. Ken Oberkfell. 2 is defense. Error chance of the first baseman Concepcion. His error chance is a 3. 1 to 64 will be an error. It's a 74, so he makes the play. Now we got to figure out, since we got to run on first, what's happened on that. And so the out here on the infielder is advance, ground ball advance. So Concepcion makes the play, takes it to the bag himself, but Albert Hall will make it to second base. 3 unassisted with the runner advancing. So that puts Albert Hall at second base with 2 down and brings up Gerald Perry. Perry, the batter, trying to get the Braves on the board. 5 for Gullickson is in play. 38, in play 38. On the split side, you got a base hit. Over here, you do not. Here, he pops the short, and the inning's over on the standard side. But on the split side, you have a base hit. And let's check runner advancement. Well, let's see. Albert Hall runs at very well with 2 outs. He should score. And he does, as he runs higher than a 6 or 6 or higher, so he will score. And we got a tie game on the split side of the house. It's 1-1. So much more enjoyable game on the split side so far. Not saying that the standard side's bad, just saying that's the way the game's rolling so far. Here's Murphy. And he's still batting on the split side. Nobody's batting on the standard side. So let's see. Gullickson. 11 is patient. 65 against a right-hander. That's going to be a base hit for Murphy. And let's see, runner Perry, does he have the speed with 2 outs to make it to third automatically? He does. He runs at a 6. So Murphy, with a base hit, sends Perry to third base. Runners on the corners, 2 down for Ken Griffey. Gullickson, a 6 is in play. 0-2, look at that. That's a double for Griffey, and that will certainly score Perry. Let's see if it's going to score Murphy. Murphy runs at a 6, so he will get the extra base with 2 outs. So it's a 2-run double for Ken Griffey, and all of a sudden the Braves lead the split game by the score of 3-1, where they trail the standard game 8-0. This one they lead it 3-1. Here's Andres Thomas. 6 is in play. 48, that's out of range finally. 48 is a ground ball to first to end the inning. But the Braves take a 3-1 lead. 3-1 lead in the ball game. And I inadvertently pinch hit for Zane Smith in the split game. I didn't mean to do that, but since I did it, that's okay. He still gets credit for the win. He went 5 innings, and he leaves with a lead, so he could still win the game. But we need a reliever for the Braves in both sides of the house. Let's see who's coming up for the Reds. On the standard side, doesn't really matter. On the split side, coming up for the Reds would be Oster and then the pitcher Gullickson, then Tracy Jones. So we are going to go with Jeff Dedman. So Jeff Dedman is on. Dedman for Atlanta will be the new pitcher to start the 6th. Top of the 6th, 8-0 Reds in the standard game, 3-1 Braves in the split game. All right. In the split game, Tracy Jones will lead off. In the standard game, it'll be Ron Oster. As things get obviously more confusing by the minute, don't they? All right, Jeff Dedman to Oster. 4 is Ballpark. 52, and Oster's a switch hitter, so batting left, he gets the in play, whereas Tracy Jones gets the wheelhouse. 51, Tracy Jones' wheelhouse will be a single. Ron Oster in play 51 will be an out. It will be a ground ball to first. So he's out, 1 away. Tracy Jones leads off with a single. So Jones is aboard on the split side. On the standard side, you got Bill Gullickson batting. So nobody to bunt, so he's got to swing away. Concepcion will be batting on the split side. 3 for Dedman is Patient 25. Patient 25, and that's a triple. I'm sorry, that's a single rather for Gullickson. Patient 25 here is a walk for Concepcion. So the first 2 are on the split side as the Reds try to come back in this ball game. Tracy Jones will bat on the standard side as that order flips over. And on the split side, it'll be the Cobra, Dave Parker. 3, that's Patient. 97, definitely out of range. It's a fly to left and a fly to right. So Jones flies to left, Parker flies to right. 1 down on the split side, 2 down on the standard side. Dedman, 8 is Patient. 66. Out of range for Concepcion is going to end the inning. 66 is a fly to right, and that ends the inning on the standard side. On the split side, 66. It was a Patient result. 66, Patient. 66 is a base hit for Eric Davis. Can Tracy Jones score? He does not. He gets 1 base. So the bases are loaded on the split cards as they try to come back in this game. The standard set is done. You got Buddy Bell coming up with the bases loaded and 1 out. And they trail it 3-1, so they could definitely use a hit here. Dedman, 4 is Ballpark. 47, that's in the wheelhouse for Buddy Bell. 88, though, 88 wheelhouse is going to be a ground ball to short, potential double play. 7 and a 9. Anything 7 or less, it's a double play. It's a 5, it's a double play. How do you like that? 6-4-3 to end the inning. Braves turn yet their 3rd double play on the split side and take care of business and keep a 3-1 lead. Gullickson back out. We'll be facing Benedict on the split side, Murphy on the standard side. Ten is going to be Wheelhouse. 53, Wheelhouse Murphy. That's a home run. For Benedict, 53 Wheelhouse is out of range. It is going to be a fly to right field on the split side. But it's a home run for Murphy on the standard side. And the Braves finally get on the scoreboard, cut the lead to 8-1 as Murph goes deep. And that's going to bring up Ken Griffey on the standard side, Hubbard on the split side. 6 is in play. 0-3, that's a base hit. In fact, it's a double for both. So Griffey follows the home run from Murphy with a double, and he follows a fly out by Benedict with a double. Does Hubbard. That brings up the pitcher spot for the split side. So they will pinch hit again, and they will use Craig Nettles to pinch hit. Now the standard side, the inning's over, so we're still going on with the split side. I'm sorry, no, the standard side, there's nobody out. What am I talking about? Andres Thomas will bat in that situation. But right now it is Nettles pinch hitting for the pitcher, Dedman, so he has to come out in both games. So Gullickson, 7 is tough. 23, tough 23 for Nettles is a strikeout, and for Thomas as well. So both strike out in this instance. That's 2 outs on the split side, 1 out on the standard side. But Nettles is done. Although he could pinch hit on the standard side. So he's done on the split side, but he could pinch hit on the standard side. Or do I even let him do that? That's even getting more confusing. All right. Bruce Benedict is up with 1 out and runner at second on the standard side. 2 outs, runner at second on the split side. Gullickson, 6 is in play. 33. And that's a base hit for Deion James on the standard. I'm sorry, on the... I got the wrong guy here. Who's supposed to be batting? It is Deion James, but I got the wrong card for Deion James. I must have got him flip-flopped. Let's get his... Make sure we get his right card here. It is the split side, not the standard side. 33 is still going to be, I believe what 6 was in play. Yep, 33 is going to be a base hit for Deion James. And let's see, will it score Hubbard? Hubbard runs at a 6, so with 2 outs he does score. So on the split side, the Braves now have a 4-1 lead. Benedict made an out as he ends up grounding back to the pitcher. And that's out number 2, runner holding at second base. So Glenn Hubbard will bat on the standard side. Obrickfell will bat on the split side. 10, Wheelhouse. 84, though, is going to be out of range everywhere you go. 84 is a ground ball to short there and a ground ball to second there. And it's going to be the end of the inning in both cases. So 4-1 Braves after after 6 innings in the split game. 8-1 Reds in the standard game. All right, now 6 innings are in the book, so we need to take the cards, flip them over, and then shuffle for these last 3 innings. Gullickson's day is probably done. He is set to bat 4th this inning on the split side. On the standard side, up 8-1, it probably doesn't matter. So either way you go, probably doesn't hurt to. Well, now I don't remember which side would I flipped him or didn't flip him. So I think this is the correct side to be up. We'll count it that way anyway. All right, leading off for the Reds, it'll be Parker on the standard side, Diaz on the split side, and for the Braves, after Dedman was used, they will go to the bullpen again for left-hander Paul Assenmacher. So Assenmacher is in. Dedman went his 1 inning and didn't allow anything. He's facing Parker, the lefty, on the standard side, Bo Diaz, the righty, on the split side. Assenmacher 9 is in play. 48, in play 48 is off there. Just missed it here. 48 is a pop to second. 48 here is a liner to short. So Parker lines to short, and Diaz pops to second. One out each way. Brings up Kurt Stillwell on the split and Eric Davis on the standard. 6 is patient. 19, patient 19 is a walk either way you go for both of them. And that'll move it on over to Buddy Bell on the standard side and Ron Oster on the split side. And the pitcher spot coming up for Gullickson, they will pinch hit for him on the split side. Next at bat, assuming there's no double play. Assenmacher, 8 is tough. 71, tough 71 on both of them as an out. 71 ground ball to second. 71 ground ball to second as well. So potential double play. He's a 9. He is a 5. So let's see what we get. We get an 8, so it's fielder's choice. Will not be a double play. It'll be a fielder's choice. It's going to go 4 to 6. 4 to 6 on the fielder's choice. And now we will get a pinch hitter for the Reds on the split side, whereas Bo Diaz will bat on the standard side. So on the split side, they will go to a right-hander off the bench, and that will be Lloyd McClendon. So McClendon will pinch hit on the split side. Try to get something going. Assenmacher, 7 is tough. 98, that's not going to help. That is a double fly to left to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Reds on either side of the house. But we will get a pitching change. There will be a pitching change for the Reds. And let's see who it's going to be. Coming up for the Braves, a couple of lefties. So they're going to go to a lefty out of the pen, Rob Murphy. Rob Murphy will be on for the Reds in back of Gullickson. Be facing Perry on the splits, Deion James on the standard. I'm sorry, not Deion James. It would be a pinch hitter on the standard. Not bad. It would be a pinch hitter on the standard. So Assenmacher is out of the game. So we need a pinch hitter for the standard side. And it's going to be Ted Simmons. Oh, that's the split side. I don't want that. I want the standard side. Not bad. Ted Simmons is your pinch hitter. So on the standard side, Ted Simmons will be the pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 7th, facing Rob Murphy. Murphy, 3 is ballpark. 79, that is in range for both. 22 on the in range, or in play, not in range, in play. 22 is a base hit for Simmons, and 22 for Perry is also a base hit. So they both get base hits. Simmons gets the pinch hit, and Perry gets a leadoff single as well. Perry's 3 for 4 on the split side. He has gotten it done solidly. So Deion James on the standard and Murphy on the split. So you got Murphy facing Murphy. 5 is in play. 98, though, that's going to be bad. That's a fly to right and a fly to left, respectively. So James flies to right, Murphy flies to left. 1 down each. And we got Griffey and Obergfell, a couple of lefties coming up. Murphy, 7 is tough. 34, tough 34 against a lefty for Griffey. Tough 34 is a base hit, so Griffey will get himself a single. Runner advancement. Perry will advance to third base. So runners on the corners there. Obergfell on his 34 is out, so he's going to get a pop out to first. So on the standard side, he will pop to first for out number 2. But on the split side, the Braves have something cooking. Runners on the corners, only 1 out. And I'm sure it's probably very confusing for you guys to follow this because it's confusing for me and it's right in front of me. All right. Well, it's just something different. good, bad, or indifferent, it's different. 11 is defense for Murphy. 85. So defense, and it's an error check on the shortstop. Shortstop error is Stillwell. He is a 1, so not good at all. And that will be an error. And the kind of an error is a 2-base error. So 2-base error on Stillwell. That will score Perry on the split side. Move Griffey to third. Thomas reaches on the E6, 2-base E6. And on the standard side, Simmons, who lit off with a single pinch hit, is now at third. So runners at second and third on both instances. 1 run is already in on the split side. Braves lead at 5-1 now. And Bruce Benedict will be up on the split side, and Dale Murphy up on the standard side. Murphy, 4, patient, 40. Patient 40, Murphy's going to walk on the standard side to load the bases. Benedict, patient 40, he will also walk to load the bases. So bases are loaded. Ken Griffey on the standard side, Hubbard on the split side. Split side has bases loaded and 1 out. Murphy, 7 is tough, 49. Tough 49 for Griffey is a ground ball to first. And since there are already 2 outs, that will end the inning. For Hubbard, tough 49 is a ground ball to first as well. And let's see how they want to do this. They had the infield playing for a double play. He's a 7, he's a 6. Can they turn it? Yes, they cannot, because he's only a 6. So it's only going to be a fielder's choice. They don't get the double play, so the split side, they're still batting. The run scores. It is now 6-1 Braves. And the pitcher spot is due up for the Braves on the split side. And that is Asemacher, and they're going to pinch hit for him anyway. So they will pinch hit for him with Gary Renicky. So Gary Renicky will pinch hit. Try to continue the onslaught. 8 is tough. 17 struck him out. So Renicky is done. Inning is over. But 2 runs come in. It's 6-1 Braves on the split side, but 8-1 Reds on the standard side. And that's all for Rob Murphy. His day is done for the Reds. Braves will need a new pitcher. And the new pitcher for Atlanta coming on will be Gene Garber. Garber will come in to pitch the 8th. So Garber is on. He'll be facing Tracy Jones on the... he'll be facing Tracy Jones on the standard side. Tracy Jones on the split side. My bad, I had it right the first time. He'll be facing Stillwell on the standard side. All right. Top of the 8th. 2 is Wheelhouse, 75. So out on both instances. 75 here is a ground ball to second. 75 here is a fly to center. So Tracy Jones on the split side will fly to center. And Stillwell on his side will ground to second. 1 down. It's going to bring up Concepcion and Oster as Garber delivers. 8 is tough. 05, that's a double strikeout. Lefty, righty, notwithstanding. That's a double strikeout. 2 down. Now we get a pinch hitter for Murphy on the standard side. So we need standard hitters for the Reds. Standard pinch hitters, I should say. And let's see who they're going to bring in. It's going to be Terry Francona. So Francona will pinch hit on the standard side for Murphy. And on the split side, it is Dave Parker against Gene Garber. 9, tough. 45, tough 45 for Francona. He grounds to first to end the inning. Stays 8-1. Parker, tough 45, is a base hit to right field for Parker. 2-out single by Dave Parker. Keeps the inning going on the split side of the house. So Eric Davis will step up to bat. 8 is tough 54. Tough 54 struck him out to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Reds on both sides of the house. And we need a new pitcher for the Reds. And it will be a right-hander. Frank Williams. So Frank Williams is on. He'll be facing Thomas on the standard side, Deion James on the split side. Frank Williams. 3 is patient. 82. That's going to be a fly to center. Fly to center. So both of them fly to center to start the 8th. 1 down. And we got Benedict on the standard side, Oberkfell on the split side. 8 is tough 50. 50 tough, out of range on both. 50 is a ground ball to third here, ground ball to third there. So double ground balls to third. 2 quick outs, recorded by Frank Williams. Bring up Hubbard and Perry. Hubbard and Perry. Williams, 9 is in play. 0-4, that's a base hit. That's actually a double for both. So Hubbard doubles and Gerald Perry doubles. And Perry is now 4 for 5, 3 singles and a double on the split side of the house. And now on the standard side, we're up to the pitcher spot, so they will pinch hit, and they will bring in Jim Acker to pitch the top of the 9th with Atlanta, but they need a pinch hitter on their standard side against Frank Williams, and they will use, let's see who they have used on the standard side. Let's see. They used Hall. Let's see who they want to use here. They're going to use Rafael Ramirez. So Ramirez will pinch hit against Williams, and Murphy will face the normal batter Murphy in the order. 5 is patient. 26, patient 26 for Ramirez. That's a base hit for Rafael Ramirez. And Hubbard, let's see if he can score automatically. His run rating is a 6. He does score. So on the standard side, Hubbard comes in to score. Cuts the lead to 8-2. On the Murphy side, 26 off of a patient is walk. So Murphy will walk to put runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Ramirez, that was his pinch hitting time. Now Deion James back out. Ken Griffey back out. 10, patient 43. Patient 43. Deion James will draw a walk, which will load the bases. No, I'm sorry. It will put runners at first and second because Hubbard had already scored. Ken Griffey, patient 43 for Ken Griffey, is not going to be a walk. It's actually going to be a base hit. So Griffey will single. And Perry, since there's 2 outs, he will score from second. Murphy, let's see, does he have enough run rating to get the extra base, or does he need the help? Nope, he can get the extra base as well, so he'll go to third. Run comes in. It is now Atlanta 7-1 with that lead on the split side. Cincinnati leads the standard side 8-2. All right. Andres Thomas facing Oberkfell. Both situations are 2 outs with runners at the corners. 10, patient. 77, though, is going to be out of range. Ground ball to short there. Fly to center for Thomas there to end the inning. So inning is over. We go to now the top of the ninth. Last chance for the Reds, and they'll have to do it against Jim Acker of the Braves. He is the new pitcher. Jim Acker. And he'll be facing, on the standard side, Tracy Jones, and on the split side, Buddy Bell. Acker, 12, in play. 99, that's a fly to left in both instances. One away. Takes it now to Concepcion on the standard and Bo Diaz on the split. 6, Patient, 27, and that's going to be a walk on the standard side. It's going to be a base hit on the split side. So Diaz gets himself a hit, whereas Concepcion will draw the walk. Both cases, runner at first with one out. Parker and Stillwell, the batters. 8 is Patient, 95 out of range. 95 is a fly to right on both. Well, this is a fly to left for Stillwell, fly to right for Mr. Parker. So 2 down, runner at first. And on the split side, this is the last hurrah for the Reds. They're down to their final out. On the standard side, of course, we go to the bottom of the ninth because the Reds have a big lead. Acker now, 7 is in play. 49, in play 49 here on the standard side is a ground ball to first to end the inning. And over here, 49 is going to be a line out to second to Hubbard, and that ends the ball game. So the Braves win the split game by the score of 7-1. And now we need a bottom of the ninth for the Braves in the standard game because they are trailing. And the Reds will send in to pitch. They will do Bill Landrum. Not a save situation, so they won't use Franco. They will just use Landrum, so we're back to the standard score sheet only. And for the Braves, it'll be Gerald Perry, Murphy, and then Griffey. Landrum, 4, tough. 93, that's going to be a fly to right, one away. Brings up Murphy. 5 is tough. 92, that's going to be the fly to left, so 2 quick outs to start the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Braves, it is Ken Griffey. Landrum, 11, defense. Range of the second baseman Oster, his range. Oster is a range of 2. I'm sorry, range of A. He's got an A range, best you can have. 1 to 44, it's a hit. 45 or higher, the game's over. 16 is going to be a base hit for Ken Griffey, so he keeps it going for one more batter, and that'll be Andres Thomas will be that batter. 8 is Patient, 29, and that's a base hit for Andres Thomas. Griffey with 2 outs has the speed to get to third, so it puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. Bruce Benedict is your batter, but he will be called back for a pinch hitter. And they will go to Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles will pinch hit. Yes, I understand he pinch hit in the standard game. I mean, in the split game, but he has not pinch hit in the standard game. So he's still available. So Nettles will pinch hit for Benedict to try to keep it going against Landrum. 5 is tough. 19 struck him out. Ball game's over. Reds win this one in the standard game by the score of 8-2. So talk about wild and woolly and confusing. And if you're as confused as I am, it's no surprise. Probably more confused because at least I can see the score sheet. You guys are kind of running blind, but I really had no other way to do it that I know of. Just didn't have enough room to show everything. But anyway, that was a feeble attempt there at Splits-o-phrenia, where you play the same game, one with splits, one without, and we'll look at our 2 score sheets. And Braves win the split game 7-1, whereas the Reds pummel the Braves 8-2 in the standard game. So they weren't even close, obviously, but different things, and maybe it would have been easier to play the game separately and see what happened, but I just thought it'd be weird to try something like this. If you think it's ridiculously stupid, you're probably right, and I probably will never do that again, but just decided to do it this one time just to be different. Like I say, you know, got to mix things up once in a while and throw a couple curveballs out there. So, I don't know. Jury is out, I guess, on how you want to do that. Like I said, in playing with the fast action cards instead of the dice may have had some effect on that, because obviously in the standard game, the Braves were getting a lot of in plays on Zane Smith, but he was getting bad breaks with low numbers and just giving up hits left and right because of that. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Depending on how you look at it, the Reds win 8-2 or they lose 7-1. In the actual game, the Reds won 7-2. So take it for what it's worth. There you go. So I'm worn out and confused, dazed and confused, like Led Zeppelin would say. And I'm going to put all the stuff away and regroup. So, till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.